Thanks. So now for my part, and I apologize, I'm not a former teacher like Brandy. So you get what you get. I hope everybody can learn something. I figured after doing this 31 years that maybe I know something in the MLS that you might not. If not, you got lunch. So the way MLS used to be is kind of depicted in my little AI movie here. Well, it's actually me. Me and my wife sat down. So back then, there really wasn't much of an internet, and for house listings, they came in a book. They came in 2 books. Kansas City had 2 books. And if you wanted to show a house that somebody saw a sign at, you'd have to turn the pages and find the address. And if you call the agent to set up the showing and you find out it's sold, we would write sold or pending or something in this book. It was like a little phone book. So this is kind of how that used to look.
I thought I saw a 3-bedroom near the high school.
Right here. Looks like the picture is missing though.
So back then, MLS went and took 1 picture of the front of your house. And then when we converted to the internet, it was actually a dial-up. It wasn't even on the internet. It was a direct connection to their computer. And so then there was 0 pictures. Then they allowed us 1. We were able to put 1 picture in the MLS. Then that went to 25 a few years later, and now we're at 99. So we get to really tell a story with the pictures. But that's kind of how MLS started with me a long time ago. And then so now I've got some notes. I'm going to show you some stuff that maybe you don't know in the matrix. And if I do something and you know a better way, please let us know, because that's going to be very, very possible. It's been a long time since I went through MLS training, roughly 30 years. So. Thank you, Caesar.
This is where it's all about your skill.
We'll see how this goes. All right, so I'm logged in. Obviously, what this class is not is me telling you the rules, other than you got 1 day to make your changes on everything except solds. And I'm not going to tell you much about the $50 fines if you don't get your stuff in within 1 day. It's pretty simple. You don't do it in 1 day, $50. So your dashboard's going to look different than mine. I didn't know if you knew these could be moved, however you want to move them or not. Come on. Well, I'll fix that later. Basically, what I kind of did to make some of these notes was I just sat down. I know we get in a hurry. We want to search for that house. We want to print the MLS sheet. We want to hit Broker Bay. We want to schedule the showing. Or same with the listing. We want to just hop in there and get that thing in without kind of paying attention to some of the stuff MLS offers. There's a lot of links down here. If you need to find MREC, it's down here. KREC, it's down here. I don't know if yours comes up with this little 3 and 3 movie, but those are interesting. But that's a page worth staring at for a few seconds, just to see what's there, move stuff around the way you want it. What I want to start with is just going to be a simple search. I'm a buyer that wants this mouse. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this way. I'm a buyer. I want a $300,000 house in Raymore. In that case, what I would do is probably just go here, type in Raymore. They come up in order. There's not a whole lot of choice. Well, there's a few choices under 300. But they're not 55, so they don't want morning view. You could actually, well, I just did. So when I hit the back button, it erased my criteria. And I do that all the time. But if you go up here and hit criteria, it remembers what you typed in. Maybe you want coming soon also. So if you don't want morning view, exclamation point, morning view. And it didn't. Oh, I know what, yeah, okay. See, you guys are teaching me.
You said that with exclamation.
Exclamation mark. Yeah, so we go back to the list and they're gone
So if you don't want it, you just put exclamation point and it
in
will say
front
that.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want, of course, only morning view, just type in morning view.
Already learned something new, Darin. Good
Yeah.
job.
All right,
Already learned
we're on a
something
roll. Let's say you want Cass County, but you don't want Raymore. Same thing. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm not seeing the whole screen, so bear with me. So this brings up everything in Cass County except Raymore. So you can eliminate things rather than just pick the things.
So one of the things I see that would be helpful, because sometimes people want Jackson County, but they don't want Kansas City, so that. would be a
Exactly.
Great. Cool.
Yep.
Work the class.
I don't know.
Cool. We're done. So I'm going to go back to searching for all the houses in Raymore. There's 88. Belton right now has about 32. That's always a stat that I try to keep in my head. We go back to 21 and 20 and 21, the COVID days. There were times Belton had like 4 listings. City of 25,000 people, and you had 4 listings, and then one would come on and then one would sell, and then 2 would come on and then those would sell. So it just, when you're at the gas station and people are like, hey, how's the market? Well, we're still low on inventory. You know, they claim a normal inventory is 6 months worth of inventory. We're nowhere near that. So 88 listings in Raymore.
That's without morning view.
You're right.
I think
Maybe.
it's $90.
No. Did I?
Yeah, I think you love this.
Okay.
I've got 95.
All right. Let me go back here. This mouse. I should have brought my own.
Do you need a mouse pad?
No, there's one here. It's just, it's hyper. It's different than mine too. 93. How'd you get 95?
Oh, I don't know. I was higher than 8.
Okay. So all that leads to this. Look at the speed bar. Who uses the speed bar? Because I use that thing all the time. Well, you're part of the reason this class is happening. Sandy called me about something. So the speed bar at the very top.
What do you use it for?
You're going to learn. So residential, active, Raymore. That's the fields that I chose when I did this search. I kept it real simple. What happens if I say Belton in the speed bar? I get Belton's listings. You can also, the way I type it for some stupid reason is backwards, but it doesn't matter.
None.
Oh, because I had Cass County checked on the page before.
Oh.
So if you just start from nothing and someone says, I want a house in Grandview, what's on the market? There are houses in Grandview, 31.
So you have kind of different little abbreviations. Like,
They're not mine.
oh, those are the real abbreviations.
Yeah.
So active, real,
Residential.
oh, residential, RESI.
Uh-huh. So you could do that, I think. Maybe it's pending. And I'm making up words.
You are.
Okay, I don't know that one off the top of my head.
PMD.
Is it PND? See? Or you could do this, I believe. Tinker around with it, make stuff up, see if it'll work. Yeah, so we got actives and pendings. But don't forget, you've also got backups, contingents. How many of us get the buyer that says, okay, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I need a 2-car garage, I have to have a basement and a fenced yard?
Yeah, yes.
I don't put all that in. I don't think you can search for fences, and if you could, I wouldn't. But I tell people, what if that 3rd bedroom is listed in here as an office or as a den, or if it's in the basement without a window? Is that okay? I don't want to show these clients only the 3 bedrooms when there's another room that could work just perfectly. My bedroom when I was a kid was in the basement. It was not conforming. I'm glad our house didn't burn down. So I don't type in all those things. A good reason to not do that, I happened to see these 2 listings the other day. Open Door owns them. Open Door agent has them listed. 101, so the reason I don't usually type in school districts. 101 Trinity Circle, Harrisonville, Missouri, is in the Hudson R1X school district. So if someone wants Harrisonville schools and that's all you type in, you'll never see this house. So what I would do in that case is I would search Harrisonville schools, but then I would also just go back, maybe just search 64701. Verify the school district later. Because if you just search school district, you'll not see this one. I've seen the wrong cities. I've seen the wrong zip codes. So just keep your mind open that you might not be seeing everything because of stupid agents. Same agent, same company, Open Door, 603 Old Paint Road, Raymore, is in the Appleton City School District. Been on the market 108 days. There's probably a lot of people searching Ray Peck and they're not seeing it. So.
This is a good price.
Oh, it's too high. Open Door always starts too high.
Thought maybe they'd reduce.
Oh, I don't know if they have or not. You can see it at the bottom.
Nope.
So when they have a whole laundry list of stuff, I don't type it all in. You're going to eliminate stuff that just might work. And they may not want to be in the Appleton City School District.
So let's say, you said you don't type it in, so there's some houses that have 3 bedrooms that really they're listed as 2. So how do you find those houses? Or you don't type in any criteria? I mean, how do you?
I don't type in bedrooms typically. And I tell them, you know, look, I don't want to remove houses that might work for you. Like I said, it may be listed as a 2 because there's a 3rd non-conforming or a 3rd that's a formal dining room.
Do you list bathrooms, like 2 bathrooms?
Typically not. Well, and because like if they're usually going to be set on a school district or a city or a price range or all of them. So you're not typically going to get 200 that match their criteria. you're going to get 15. And then you can just look down the list and see what might work, or set them up on an auto email, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I've got an outline, but I'm really not following it, so bear with me. Couple things from this page. Did you know, like, this is the order I prefer this list to come up as, and I'm sure it's different than yours. Well, first, if you click on that, it's going to put them in order by the MLS number. So click it twice, and the newest listings are right there at the top because they're the bigger number. If I would rather not see the area, which really makes no difference to any of us anymore because of the way this is set up. See if I can do this here. You click in that field. You can make it a smaller field if you want. You can align the writing of the word area. So really that ought to be a little smaller. Let's take up less room. Or you can just do that. That way you can see more stuff. I want to see them in order by subdivision. Click, there you go. I like to have them in order by price initially. Did you know there's more fields? And there's fields that I eliminated. I should eliminate these, but they're usually off my screen. Oh, hey, I drove by a sign the other day. It's listed with Keller Williams, and it was on, whatever street. But you can go down here and find all the Keller Williams listings, other offices, and then ours. Or hey, there's an open door listing in Belton. Which one? 410B. Hell, that used to be on my aunt and uncle's house. Look at that. I practically grew up in that house. Hey, they got the right school district. They got the wrong elementary, I'm pretty sure. But again, it just goes back to don't over search because you will miss houses. So over here, I don't know if you guys ever click on these things. There's the realist tax, history of the property, documents, videos, virtual tours, RPR, and then if you want to report a violation and maybe get somebody else to pay 50 bucks, it's right there. Open houses are there. You can remove those fields. I never click on them. So you can left click and remove a column and it's gone. Left click, remove, and it's gone. Woohoo, that was fast. All right, I'm going to try to do another search here.
When you clicked on subdivision and it organized them, then if you click on it again, it'll unorganize them and put it back into.
No, it'll reverse the order and start at the end of the alphabet. And don't forget, there's a lot of times the subdivision's not typed in right. So just don't get hyper focused on, oh my God, I have to have, the traditions. Well, the agent may not have typed that in. A lot of times they'll type in other when they don't know what they're doing. These all look to be right, but anyway, not going to focus on that. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Woohoo. Who clicks on detail and who clicks on quick for searches. I almost always do quick, and I kept finding myself needing something that's not on the quick page. And so, like I said, I don't typically click all this stuff. I just really don't. But there were a few things that I wanted to add. So down at the bottom, you can add or remove these fields. I manually added these fields because I wanted them in there. If I know somebody's calling, I'm on board duty, and they don't know the address of the house, but they think it's near, whatever. You can't find it in here. I've already checked active. I'm going to go down here, listing office ID, KW08, and I can find just that quick our active listings. And then, of course, I can search by city. I can search by price. I can search by address. You may not find it that way. Then you can go back and search for pre-MLS or whatever. So that is a couple of the things that I've added down here. You can click the add remove. Here's what's in. Here's what's available. Double click it. It goes over to the other side. You can do searches in the quick search with your own little custom things. I suppose in the detail search, probably all of these things are available. So it just adds more things without having to go to the super long detail. Let's see. Need those. Oh, Lonnie mentioned it in a meeting last week or the week before. Creekmore has a whole bunch of subdivision names. So if you want everything in Creekmore, you could either go through and click all of these, or the opposite of the the exclamation mark is the asterisk. Or are we not getting anything? Let's start over. Oh yeah. See, thank you. This mouse. I'm going to get home and I'm not going to know how to use my own mouse. All right. 21 houses in. Why did I do that? Oh, look at this. $46. How do we do that? What? Is it? Come on, go down. Yeah, I didn't. Still seems like there should be more.
21.
Well, why is it showing 46 now when I haven't really clicked anything? All right. Okay, all the Creekmores. If you want to read that better, you can scoot this over. If you want to read them in order, click that. And then hopefully that helps you find everything in Creekmore, or pick your subdivision that has a couple of different parts to it. Oh, down here, it tells you what criteria that you used. So I could have been looking at that a while ago when I was messing up. But we're in residential, active, Creekmore. Oops, I didn't want just active. I wanted, coming soon or whatever, or contingent. That added a few. So then you can see all those. Should have. Okay, okay. I don't know how Brandy does it. I know she always watches that one, but I can't focus on that. My eyes are. There's a lot of glare on this thing. Makes me appreciate you a little bit more. Oh, something that's not really about MLS, but it's a cool fact. I was having this conversation with my brother the other day, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people over the years. If you pick an area or a town in any time frame, even back in 2010 when houses were 30% cheaper than they were in 2007, and the market was, the world was imploding, the Great Recession. If you look up, let's say Belton in 2025, what percentage did the house sell for versus what it was listed for? So if there's a house listed, and this is the average of however many houses sold in Belton last year. So what percentage of the sale price did it sell for?
Last year.
Any year, any town.
90%.
Okay. 99.6. Raymore was 98.8. I have never found any place where it was under 95. And of course, in COVID days, it was 110. But that's a great stat to think of when your buyer, my brother, wants to offer 20% less than it's listed for. They're not going to take it. They're going to take their $500,000 house. They're going to lower it to $490. See if that works. And then they might go to $480. Tony. Speaking of price reductions, but and case in point, you had that house listed at $457.
Yeah, we started at free MLS last day, free MLS, and we go to 457.
Why not? And they turned down 405 twice.
Yeah, 405.
And you're listed at what now? Mm-hmm. Keep that story in mind too. 8 months on the market, they've moved out, they're in their new house, and they're like, Tony, why haven't you sold our house? Days on the market matters.
Almost exactly.
But also when your buyer wants to offer a bunch less, hey, you do what you want, but they're probably not going to take that. It's not for me to say what the seller will or will not take, but most of the time they won't. They'll lower it incrementally a few times before they start thinking about, a $450 offer on a $490 house. And that was true in the Great Recession. It was true last year, this year, Belton, Kansas City, pretty much wherever you look, you're going to find above 95%. Part of that is skewed if we've got seller paid closing costs. But I think that's a minor number. Now, what percentage of the original list price? I didn't look that up. It could be lower than 95%, like in Tony's case. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna go to an older subdivision. I'm gonna look for actives in, come on. Belton. When you're working for the buyer, I think it's your duty to not just print this and run out the door and set up your showing. Probably not a bad idea. Now, Realist is a good data container. Quicker than Realist is this one. And I've run into a few of you that have never used that. Quick short sheet, gives you the year built, gives you square footage. Check the square footage against what's on the MLS sheet, because some agents combine the finished basement with the upstairs and put it all in above grade. And then you get there and the house isn't 1,800 square feet, it's 1,100 or 1,200. So just look real quick for that. You know, the buyer's like, hey, I love it. It says right here it's a large yard. Well, it's not even a quarter of an acre.
Does that work for compliance to print that part?
Yes.
Darn right it does. Parcel map, easy peasy. You can pull it up, see where it's at, see the dimensions, see what it looks like. You know, surrounding houses, you can zoom right in. Flood map. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I just figured out why this house is so cheap. It's in a floodplain. This one's obviously not, but Zone X, the orange color, is not in a floodplain. Down here, it tells you kind of what you're looking at. But if you got a house or acreage, you know, you're gonna find floodplain, whether it's a 100-year, 500-year, or whatever. A lot of people just say, nope, I don't want it. Others will be like, well, let me call my insurance guy and see how much it's going to be. While we're on taxes, and Lord. I can't even tell what I'm typing. I should have brought my. Okay. I'll put the link on Facebook because I'm not even sure what I've clicked on here, but casscounty.com, and then assessor, and then GIS. I will get you the link, so you don't have to click all these things. I think it's cassassessor.com, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I thought I was going to use my laptop. Anyway, Cass County Assessor, they have a search page where you can go in and double check the information that they have, which is especially useful a lot of times on a newer house. Because sometimes our MLS doesn't have the tax information, but the county assessor, of course, does. Johnson County Assessor is a whole different website, of course. Jackson Johnson, the other Johnson, but
I think you can look it up by name or
you
something
can.
under that pay taxes online. The second green one.
Where?
No, where you tell the.
Oh my God. I'm in the top right tab. Matrix?
No,
Huh?
you're right, that one, that one.
I didn't even know there was a tab there.
Up at the top, in the top right, there's a.
Ah, thank you. That's not really the page I was looking for. I will put the link in the Facebook page. There's a cool, simple way to search everything in Cass County. And every other county.
The other tab on the pay taxes, you can go in there and see if that
If-
address has been paid or if it's still due by name or address, I think.
Yep, it's all public record. Here's what you can find. Once I send you the link, type in the address, you can find a cute little house. You can find it, you can see who owns it. Previous sales, of course, previous sales don't go back 100 years. They only go back about 30.
Do they only go back if they were sold on the MLS or any?
No.
sale?
Any transfer or any sale is going to be on this site. So a lot of times what you'll see is whether it was in the MLS or not, sometimes, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith transfer it to their trust. It'll be here. And then a lot of times they'll have a floor plan. I don't know. It's fairly accurate. I wouldn't count on it. And then you can see, you know, well, what's that building next to that house? It's right there. And you can see that the city of Harrisonville owns it. So that's the stuff you can find once I send you the right link. There you go. I'm gonna go back to that. Any questions on that? Who didn't know that little button was there? And it's perfectly good for compliance.
That's what I've always.
Like I said, Realist has a ton of information if you want to go that route. No. Okay. Speed bar. Oh, we need to do custom speed bar. So I showed you a little bit on the speed bar. Lonnie has talked about the hot sheet. And there is one that's kind of built in here. I didn't like it, so I made my own. So I created again, I thought I was going to use my laptop. I selected a few fields and I did 0-1 days. In the last day, it would be on my hot sheet. Of course, I want expireds. Endings. Show for backups and solds.
So do you have on your hot sheet just the 1 day?
Yeah, and you can search it however you want. You can go back a week or whatever, but I do those time frames. I do Cass County, and then I search. So this is the newer things in Cass County that have happened. And if I want to put them in order so that I could see, because I look at the hot sheet many times per day.
So how did you create the hot sheet? Just right there? You did that?
Yeah, I typed in the criteria. And then I go to save as a new speed bar shortcut. Who uses these? Yay. All right. Here's my shortcuts. I think they're unlimited. I don't know, try it. I'm gonna name this one. So it gives you the slash. I'm gonna call it hot 2 because my other one is hot. Right here. So when I sit down at my little computer and I log in, I don't have to go anywhere to see my hot sheet. Slash HOT. And there's my hot sheet. And then the first thing I do is click this twice so that the absolute newest MLS number is at the top. Because yesterday I already saw these. I want to see the newest that's on the market. Hey, another one in Morning View. Isn't there like 5 out there? That's unreal.
Compared to what's up.
Yeah. Not bad. So hot sheet, that's,
The hot sheet was in that little box over there where.
it is. I just don't like it
So you just.
on the
On
Just gotta make
main.
the dashboard. Yeah, it's on the dashboard. I just didn't get along with it. I suppose you could probably change the criteria on it however you want. There it is. Yeah, so I just made my own. And I wanted it to be up in the speed bar. So
Name and it comes up.
slash HOT, and there's your hot sheet, my hot sheet. Uh-huh. What if you wanted to see everything in Belton? That's my hot sheet for Belton. What if I want to see everything that our office has listed? I have it saved as KW08. Sorry, I have it saved as KW. That's not every KW. I picked only our office when I made this hot sheet. Uh-huh. The one I created won't be there. It's only accessible through the speed bar. The homemade hot sheet. It's just a saved search with a speed bar name. Couple of other things that I did in the speed bar, and you can do anything. You can save anything with a little shortcut. Type in slash. I've got one that says slash DJ. Shows me my listings. Whether I want it to be only the actives or the active and pending and coming soon and contingent. If I want to see all my listings, it's right there. I've got one for Cass County too, slash CASS.
So wait, when you make your own hot sheet with your initials,
Uh-huh.
how did you create it? Because.
I'll show you.
Okay.
So, my listings, I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor after this. Nope, I don't want solds. So I pick the fields I want. On my quick sheet, I can put in the listing agent's ID. If you have to go to the longer detail form, you can do that, or you can add a few fields that you find yourself using a lot. And I'm old enough that I don't have numbers in my ID. Why didn't anything come up? Well, that would be the way to do it. I don't know why anything didn't come up. Anyway, you would search. I have listings, I promise. And then you would click save as a new speed bar.
So the new speed bar then is something you have to type in up at that. Where,
After you save it, this is the speed bar. So rather than save that, I'm just going to type in /DJ and find my one pending listing.
Tell us how you created a new speed bar again, a new speed bar search criteria thing.
You pick your criteria, you pick whatever you want as far as cities or price range or whatever. And then it's a lot like, oh, I got to get the results first. It's kind of the same as doing a automated search for a buyer. So you get your answers after you type in your criteria, and you go to save. And so here's where you would type for a new auto email. You can do a saved search. I don't have any of those because I always want to have quick access through a speed bar. And we'll name that one /Belton because mine is /BELT. I should do BLT. Oh, I guess I have a Belton one too. Or maybe it's because I've got BELT. Okay. So it's saved /BELTONS. So I can do, when I sit down at the computer, I can do that. And it brings up the Belton listings with my criteria. If I wanted to tinker with the price or any of that kind of stuff, I could.
Earlier you were doing some of the columns
Uh-huh.
on your criteria page or on your result page right there.
Yeah.
If you were to add some stuff, I noticed like you've got lot size, square footage above. How did you add some of those criteria?
Click and insert column. Thanks for bringing that up. I meant to mention that. You can add all these different columns if you want to. On and on and on and on and on.
but do you have to add them every time?
Nope.
Okay. So that is useful as on the search page at the very bottom, you can add fields too.
Yeah. If you just want to use the quick search, but then have a few extra ones, like I added in agent ID, I added in whether it's manufactured or not, so I can click yes or no. But again, don't over search because some dumb agents will not say it's a manufactured home if it really is. And so you're gonna, if you click yes, that all I want's a manufactured, you may miss some of the houses. And if you click no, you still might find manufactureds because agents don't know what they're doing. They get in a hurry, whatever. Does everyone know the difference between a manufactured and a modular home? Huh? Manufactured homes are trailers. They come in with tires. Modular homes are built somewhere else and hauled in on a trailer. So it's all typically all wood frame. My parents' house was a modular. And built in a big warehouse where the weather can't get to it, and it's typically brought in two pieces on a trailer, not as a trailer. So that's the difference. Manufactureds are trailers. Another shortcut. Address. Then it asks you how you meant that, which is dumb. But street number 202, street name Myron. There's the house I grew up in. So if you know an address, somebody calls you on board duty or something, and they're like, how much is 123 Main Street? You just type it in.
So you usually use the speed bar instead of
A lot.
instead of searching down.
It depends on what I'm looking for, but yeah. Another speed bar I've got, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on HUD homes because there really aren't that many. Nope. My speed bar name is 291. And the reason for that is that Missouri HUD homes all have a case number, and that starts with 291 dash. So I went into the search, I went into remarks. Let's do that. I had to add remarks, public remarks, to my quick search. And I want to search, I'm going to put in the wild card 291 dash.
Is that an asterisk? 291, yeah.
Yes, and then one after. That way, any words can be after the 291 dash. Now, if I just use 291, I'm going to get stuff along 291 highway. Or, you know, stuff where in the remarks they said convenient to 291 highway or just off 290. Well, I don't want to bring those up. I want the dash. And so I don't know why I only got one. Let's find out. The reason you can search that way is because these agents that list HUD homes, they have to put that case number right there in the public remarks. They also have to put in HUD-owned homes are sold as is. If you'd like, you can advertise HUD homes as if it's your own listing. But you have to enter the case and, you know, just put it on Facebook, HUD-owned home. People love the word HUD-owned. They think it's a bargain. It's a bargain because it's torn up. But you have to put in HUD-owned homes are sold as is, and you have to put in that case number. So that's why you can search for HUD homes by hitting the 291 dash. That covers 291 covers most of the Kansas City area. 292 is mostly St. Louis. Kansas is 181 and 182. Most of the ones close to here are going to be 181. So if you get a chance to sell a HUD home, call me and we'll walk through it. Again, I was going to use my laptop. Oh, HUD home, let's see, HUD home store.com. HUDhomestore.com. You can find all the HUD homes in the nation right here. And if you want to see only the Missouri ones, there they are. And as you can advertise HUD homes. Yep. Just make sure you do the things that you have to do. If you don't, I'll catch up with you. Or a lot of times a listing agent will call you. They'll be like, we don't mind you doing this, but you have to put these things in there. So like I said, there's really not that many HUD homes right now. In all of the state of Missouri, there's 14. Back during the Great Recession, there was hundreds. And that's how I fed my family back then. Was I learned how to sell HUD homes because HUD homes and foreclosures was about all there was. But you'll get buyer calls when you advertise a HUD home, because again, it's a bargain, even though it's not. Anyway, that's a whole different class. And frankly, I'm not going to worry about it until we start seeing more HUD homes, and hopefully we don't. What have I done that causes more questions than answers so far? And I'm hoping to wrap this up here soon.
I have a question that it's not something you paused a question. I just can't get the function to work. So maybe you could
Okay.
show us on this search, either one quick or deeper or whatever. I can't get the pricing like on the right side.
Yeah.
It says like list on the list price.
Okay. Give me a price range.
250 to 320.
Are you putting in the extra zeros?
No.
Because in our MLS right now, there's 736 houses in that range that are active.
Does it, so maybe I'm just putting stuff in wrong. Can you put in to that box like a less than
Yes.
or whatever?
Yeah,
Is
there's
that
a
what's done with the,
there's a whole, well, one, you can do 0 to 325,
okay,
or you can do, is it that?
250 minus.
the minus goes
Oh.
after? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that's just where it was missing. I think easy.
Yeah, or plus. Yeah.
I think I was using it, okay,
Ashley, they can also, as an agent, put a number in there. What is that called when they do range pricing?
Range pricing, I hate that.
And then it won't
It won't
match.
then it won't do that.
Because if whatever they have as range pricing comes up, not what they have as the actual price.
Gotcha, okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, there are the little question marks that kind of give you short answers on what can be done.
The MLS class I took at KCRAR had us use like, I call them the alligators because that's how you learn it.
Greater than or less than.
Yeah, had us use those and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Mhm. What else? Challenge me.
Do you ever use them?
Oh, yeah. So you can search by map, or you can look at your results on a map. We got 48 houses here. Let's go to results. And then right there, we can see where they are. Now, sometimes you'll see where the agent didn't double check where it came up on the map, and you may see a Belton listing way over here. A lot of times I'll call the agent or send them an email and say, hey, you're not showing up right. Or if you search by school district and you wanted Appleton City, one of them is going to be in Raymore because of the listing. So yeah, on the map, you can get a feel for, you know, where they are. If they say, look, I want to be south of 58 Highway, but I want to be in Belton, just draw your little box there. The rest of them go away. Or they may say, I don't want to be south of 58. So you exclude it. Those all go away. There is a way, I've never used it, where you can, I have no idea how it's accurate, but if someone wants to be 30 minutes from work, find their work address, go to it, and then tell this thing that you want to be within 30 minutes of that. At different times of the day, supposedly it kind of accounts for traffic. That's getting a little too detailed for me. Well, the buyers that have 20 criteria for a used house, I'm like, go build one. You can get all that stuff you want. You know, let's be variable. Your house ain't gonna be perfect. So yeah, you can search by map, you can do all these, you know, just hover over these things. It'll give you some different search ideas. Another thing we should add to all of our listings is the little sentence, buyer or buyer's agents are responsible to verify all information, including taxes, HOA, square footage, school district, yada, yada.
Can you put that wording in?
Yeah. Yep. Add that, and then I'm going to add the Cass County website. I think I'm about done. Let's do it now.
Got one. All status right now, we might go back live with it. But, on the MLS, my input section, my top there, doesn't show my list. I've got to call MLS, have them put that back in.
Change it to
There's some
historical
criteria
data.
there.
Yeah.
There's what?
There's some kind of
data.
criteria there, cause I had that problem, there's different options. So if you go in there, like, it'll give you my active listings or my pending listings.
Right.
So, or maybe it's stuck under something else, yeah.
Probably call MLS.
It'll go.
If it's not on your active,
Mhm.
days on market.
There might be one of those all these things or something in there.
Okay.
I don't remember.
And then require the form to come back out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the difference between withdrawn and temporarily off the market is I think temporarily can be up to 4 weeks. Of course, when you click that in there, you may not know if it's going to be 4 or 5 weeks or a week. But I think that's the criteria for withdrawn. It's supposed to be over 4 weeks. For what it's worth. I don't think they fine people for that. It's just mostly the 1-day things. We've only had 4 this year in the office. Me either. I haven't paid one of their silly fines for a long time.
Better not phone there.
Well, go show something that's coming soon. I think it's 500. That is, I'm getting tired of coming soon, to be honest. I love the fact that you can advertise a house early and get them to sign a listing, which you can get them to sign a listing without making it coming soon. But there's, I think, too much cheating that goes on. Agents are like, hey, come over after dark and you can show this, you know, I can show you this
The
house.
ones that set it up with their own buyers and going, okay, I'm gonna, in the morning, I'll make this active. Everybody
Right.
else has this date they're waiting.
That's a loophole I hate.
We've had buyers call and chew us out because they're like, you told us that wasn't going active for another week.
Yeah, and so I always say that could change.
I do too now.
So if you've got a coming soon listing, and this is a loophole I hate, somebody calls on it and you're like, well, yeah, it's scheduled to go active tomorrow, but I can show it to you today. Because once you allow a showing on a coming soon, the rule is the next day it has to go active. So the day before, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. You can show it as much as you want, and you're not breaking a rule as long as you go to active the next day. So I don't like that. Too many agents do that. I think it's still evolving. I don't even know. I don't know why they announced it yet.
Some market, I was in one of the Keller Williams agent Facebook groups that I'm in. I mean, it's live in some areas right now.
Really?
Kind of like beta testing.
Yeah, that'll be a whole,
Baltimore got it last year.
that'll be a brandy class. What else do we need to know about MLS? I think I've covered all my stuff. Oh, one thing I will mention, since I've got a captive audience, I'm not going to pull it up, but did you know in dot loop, you can change the size of the initials field and the size of the signature field? Looking at it from a audit perspective, the initial field sometimes covers up some of the text in the contracts. Way too technical, but I think that could be a problem in an audit. You know, you cover up these fields and the people can't read what they're signing. Nobody does, but anyway, those fields can be adjusted in size. Just you hover over the little red triangle in the bottom right corner, click, hold it, and you can make it whatever size you want. I know I forgot something, but I don't know what yet. There's another place you can find your listings. I just think it takes too long, so I type in /DJ. So, okay, that was about an hour. Sure. Ah, there it goes. Thanks for lunch.
Thank you.
Okay. I have no idea how to get rid of that, so I won't.
I know.
They're taking my jacket off and we're going out.
Okay, Brandy, we all right. Hopefully there's something in that for everybody.
Yeah. You know that way. Yeah.
Good job, Darin.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Caesar. Oh,